if I'm still Linda makes content by the time I'm 40, we have done something wrong. Hi guys, it's Linda here. I'm back on another video, and this is gonna be things that I learned for 2025. So I just want to start off with how the year went. I think the first half was brilliant. First half, absolutely brilliant. Second half, could use a lot of work. I mean, August, September, October were the bad months. Those are the bad months, and I'm going to talk about that more. But I want to talk about the year overall. The positives: went to 2 countries. Went to Limpopo, did the game reserve. Went to Hermanas. These were great positives. Met some new friends. Realized that I might not want a romantic relationship like I thought. That is a net positive, by the way, surprisingly enough. And what else? And yeah, I started understanding that maybe it's better for me to, take a step back and kind of look at things from a better point of view than just to always interject or try to save the situation. Those are some of the positives. The negatives. I feel my naivety again has really gotten me in some, I'd say deep waters, but more like it's showing itself to its full potential this year, how naive I truly am. I'm getting better though. I've learned that I'm not accepted in every space. Not to say that's a good or a bad thing. It's just, I understand that sometimes the places you're in, those are not for you. I learned the negatives that I overextended myself a lot this year to people. Overextended quite like I've never overextended before. It's like I was being a try-hard for people. I can promise you now, we're not doing that anymore. That's no. We're not even trying anymore. I think sometimes you need to place the burden of that to other people. Other people need to also do what you do if that relationship has any meaning whatsoever. I think people are too, it's easy for us to just cop out and be like, no, we're not going to do that because, we're all adults and we're growing and we don't have to do that. It's like, okay, cool. You don't have to do that. That's fine. But you understand there's consequences to actions, right? So yeah, that's some of the things there. One thing I will say, I've learned how much people pleasing I've done in the last 2 years, and I realize now didn't have to do those things. Didn't have to people please. Like it's not, and once you learn how to overcome your people pleasing, life becomes a lot easier. The one thing I will say I'm still kind of grappling with in terms of people pleasing is knowing when I'm people pleasing versus when I'm doing something because I want to do it. But that's something I think I'll work out next year. Other negatives I want to bring across, dealing with my vices. I think I've had a lot of conversation about, drinking overall. I think it's a good social activity, but sometimes I feel like the way we're doing it, it doesn't feel like it has purpose. It's like, what's the occasion? Like, why are we doing this? Technically drinking is supposed to be like a celebratory thing at most, right? And I'm not saying I'm trying to quit drinking for life, but I definitely need to have spells where I'm not drinking as actively as I currently am. So my vices are things that I'm trying to control, and because it's getting to the point where some days I'll feel very ashamed because I went out now and I went did this thing. I'm like, why did I do that? I didn't have to do that, and I knew I didn't have to do that. So now I'm busy telling myself I know I'm not supposed to do that, and now so what? So what? I just want to be a victim the whole time. Come on, like, at what point do I just decide, dude, don't do this? Have the willpower and the strength. You keep saying you have willpower and strength and you can overcome things, but you don't prove it when the time comes. So like, what's the point here? And that's the thing I want to really, being conscious of something and being self-aware of it doesn't mean you have this necessarily ability to conquer it. It just means which actually makes it worse. Which actually makes it worse. So yeah, and then just touching on what made August, September, October very bad. I was feeling very lonely this year, guys. Oh my god, I'd never felt so lonely in my entire life. And yes, you can see I was surrounded by people. You can even go check. You can even go check on my Instagram. I was surrounded by people. But there were some days I'd come home and just feel this emptiness just take over me. And I just sit there and it's like, I don't know what to do. Yeah, that was up until I started hanging out with someone that I met this year, a good friend of mine. She actually helped me. We started hanging out together like weekly, and that's kind of where I realized like I don't actually need a romantic relationship right now. I think one thing I definitely need to start doing is like my friendships need to be more solid. I need to appreciate my friendships more. I need to show up in those moments a lot more. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I feel this year has been quite challenging in terms of me trying to shift from an old version of myself to a new version of myself, and I keep telling everyone, it feels like I'm in the middle, and I think I need to draw a line in the sand. I just need to draw a line in the sand. Like, enough is enough. We're moving to the new version now. You need to mourn the old version, and actually, there's a lot of mourning there's a lot of grieving I need to do. There's a lot of things that have died this year. Things I don't want to really, those things I don't want to talk about, but things have died. Like not like people, like things things that I used to represent. Those things are dead, and they no longer are the same. And since it formed a part of who I am, that means a part of me has also died, and there's a new version now. So I need to acknowledge that there's a new version of me here now, and this new version can't take certain things that the old Linda was doing. I have to now. It's up to me to go change this now, because I know the changes that I needed to be made. Overall, not to end this on a downer, I'm very proud of myself for overcoming a lot of my problems. There were a lot of things that I've overcome this year. The naivety is one of them. The people pleasing is another. I've heard a lot of people say that I've become a lot more emotionally mature. Hey guys, the jury's still out on that one. Usually I would, you know me, I'll take any compliment and run and just be like, yeah. But at this one, I'm like, guys, I'm not sure where the evidence is for this emotional maturity thing. I still feel like I can be very emotionally immature, especially in the way I make decisions. I mean, I am a very petty person. I know most people don't believe it, but I am. So I don't know. And the other thing is, I don't think some people have noticed, but I have become a lot more. Well, I've learned to show a little bit more humility. It's what happens when you start getting bested by people. So when you can, when you see other people choose other people and not you, that can it can hit you in the chest. It can hit you in the chest. It can pacify you a little bit. But yeah, I'm hoping for better next year. I'm hoping for greater change. I'm hoping to show everyone exactly what kind of person I am. I want to be able to be a positive influence. I want to make positive changes. I want us to all have a good time. I don't really want us to be in a position where we're always miserable. And I get that life can be very tough, because life is freaking tough. But I think, this is gonna be corny. I remember watching Arrow, one of the crossovers, and he obviously all the superheroes are gathering, and one of the things Oliver Queen said is like, we shouldn't only be meeting up when the times are bad. We should also be meeting up when the times are good. We should be hanging out. So and I always remember that quote, and I always think to myself like, yeah, it shouldn't always call you because there's a crisis. Sometimes you need to just check up on you and be like, how are you doing? Are you fine? How's your life? How's your significant other? And also, probably like a side note, I'm actually tired of hanging out with people as if we're doing Avengers Endgame. We don't have to hang out with 20 people squad deep. We don't have to do that, guys. We genuinely do not have to do that. We don't have to hang out 20 people squad deep the whole time. Like, sometimes you can just hang out with a person by themselves. But that's a topic for another time. Yeah. Overall, super happy for myself. I know this year has been tough, and I think there's a lot of things I can improve. I'm still deciding whether I should do this videos annually or quarterly. I know with quarterly, I kind of skipped out on them. So the fact that I'm doing one now for annually means it probably should still stick to annually, but I'll see. I want to be able to kind of talk through my progress, in real time. And I want to be able to show that I'm not afraid of showing people when I do have a stumbling block. I mean, flip, I with my gym post this year, I did that. I told people I gained weight, told people I lost weight. I've been very transparent with that. And I'm a transparent person in general, actually. It would be hard for me to, the thing about me and the reason why I'm so transparent is because I feel like, the thing is, when you start hiding things, like, then you get surprised. Why does everyone know this thing that I've technically been hiding? It's because, well, people talk. So, in my eyes, if everyone is looking at the same bits and pieces of information, there's nothing to talk about. Everyone knows. There's no talking point. I feel that's the main thing for me. I feel like if people, I'm not saying like I'm gonna tell people all my dark secrets or whatever, or all my information, but like, in general, I think my general well-being is something people know. A lot of people know what my general well-being is even before watching this video. They don't even have to watch this video. They know exactly how my year's gone. Because yeah, this is just ceremonial at this point. Anyway, hope you guys have a fantastic day. In terms of content creation, we're gonna do more. You're gonna see me a lot more. I'm planning on really bringing the focus to Lindo Mix content. I think there is a retirement date that I have. It's not next year. But yeah, to be quite honest with you, there is like a proper retirement date that I'm thinking of, but it's not next year. We're close to it though. 35? Yeah, I think 35 might be the time when I start planning my retirement. I also want to have a retirement tour. John Cena had one. Well, his retirement tour wasn't that good, but it looks fun to have a retirement tour. But we're not there yet. And maybe, who knows, I may just pull Ric Flair and be like, I'll never retire. I'm going to make content till I'm 50. I'm making content. If I'm still Lindo Makes content, by the time I'm 40, we have done something wrong. Anyway, hope you guys have a fantastic day. We'll chat later.